Welcome to the Angle Check. Think critically, explore every angle. November 9th, BBC Director General Tim Davie and Head of News Deborah Turness resign after a Panorama controversy makes headlines worldwide. The programme, Trump, A Second Chance, included a heavily edited version of Donald Trump's January 6 speech, cutting key context and making it seem like he directly called for violence. It went out just 1 week before the 2024 US presidential election, raising serious questions about editorial judgment and timing. The fallout has reignited debate over media power, bias, and public trust. Here's the comparison from The Guardian, showing the BBC's edited version side by side with Trump's original remarks.
We're going to walk down to the Capitol, and I'll be there with you, and we fight. We fight like hell, and if you don't fight like hell, you're not going to have a country anymore. We're going to walk down to the Capitol, and we're going to cheer on our brave senators and congressmen and women. And we fight. We fight like hell. And if you don't fight like hell, you're not going to have a country anymore.
The facts are clear, but the headlines tell different stories. Let's see how left, centrist, and right-leaning media are framing this event. Progressive outlets describe the edited clip as a mishap, an avoidable but limited editorial failure, or at worst, an error of judgment. They frame the resignations as more than a single newsroom mistake, a warning sign about rising political pressure and the risks of turning every editorial lapse into a weapon. Many see this as an accountability moment. Yes, the BBC got it wrong, but the backlash, they argue, reveals larger threats to independent journalism when politicians exploit errors to discredit the press. The Daily Mirror noted that the BBC gets it wrong sometimes, but called the error relatively benign compared with Donald Trump's long record of attacking and threatening to silence journalists. CNN warned that Britain's right-wing press has been feasting like vultures on this controversy, using it to fuel a broader conservative campaign against the BBC itself. Across progressive coverage, the message is consistent: fix the mistake, hold leaders accountable, but don't let political outrage undermine a free press. Centrist outlets take a measured approach, focusing on what happened rather than why. They note that the Panorama episode omitted Trump's call for a peaceful and patriotic march, while combining separate moments in a way that implied a direct call to violence. Al Jazeera and other mainstream outlets detailed BBC's internal discussions, reporting that senior editors, including Deborah Turness, were aware of and approved the edit, reportedly to better convey the message of the speech. Coverage centers on what this means for accountability and editorial oversight within the BBC, especially for a publicly funded broadcaster supported by mandatory license fees. Conservative commentary blasts this episode as scandal, no accident but a calculated political move, points out that the BBC has crossed the line from public broadcaster into activist propaganda machine and 100% fake news institution. Coverage highlights the leaked memo and senior departures as the culmination of a broadcaster under siege, heavily cites Trump and his team's response to accuse BBC media overreach and bias against conservatives. With the BBC's funding under review and its charter expiring in 2027, many on the right are calling for structural reform or even defunding the institution. We've seen the facts and the spin, and now let's hear the voices colliding online, and what people are saying about it. Thanks for watching The Angle Check. Every angle counts, share yours.